Our goal hasn't changed since 2009. We support, promote, engage, and inspire the arts community by igniting the ghost light that shines on the stages of the up-and-coming, the unsung heroes, the brilliant writers, and the dynamic designers. Stay tuned. Rep Radio is on the air. Welcome to Rep Radio. I'm your host, Darnell Radford, and today I'm in South Philadelphia. And I'm here at 1812 Productions. I'm here to talk a little ways from Broad Street. I'm talking about broads.
Broads!
I'm talking about broads, and I'm here today with Jess Conda.
Jess Conda, the biggest somebody you've never heard of.
You've been on Rep Radio
podcast.
before.
I don't know if I have.
I feel like for
maybe.
Brad, maybe.
Let's dig up some archives.
I don't know.
And see. I feel like you're someone who's been on the scene as long as I have. So like game recognized game.
Yeah.
Because we're still here.
Definitely not available.
But I don't know if we've actually mushed our superpowers together.
I felt like a return of the bald soprano had a conversation with you at some point. I don't know. It was way back.
Well, it's good to be on the couch.
I have no idea. I know, but I'm here with you today. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. All 9 seasons. 9 seasons of Rep Radio, over 600 episodes.
Mazel tov.
Stop counting.
Oh my God.
At some point.
Your commitment is unstoppable.
I'm trying.
Thank you for talking about Philly theater, because someone's got to.
If Philly theater just won't stop, so there's always enough for me to talk about. But so this is the first time I talked to you on behalf of 1812. So welcome.
It's my debut.
Yeah, welcome.
It's my 1812 debut.
I hope you get some really fabulous costumes.
I hope so. I think we are on the lookout for the perfect LBD. Little black dress. I think that's our goal. And cool. I have my eye also.
Maybe some CFMPs.
What are that? What is that?
Really?
Hit me with the acronyms.
Come get me pumps.
The FMPs?
Yeah.
Oh, the FMPs.
Or CFMPs.
I love a fuck me pump. That's why I perform in flats.
I think Betsy Johnson said CFMPs. But yeah.
It's the C that tripped me up as usual. There's going to be plenty of this, listeners. P.S. I found a $127 pair of Betsy Johnson sparkle stiletto shoes on sale on Black Friday for $27, and I died in the store.
Wow.
So someone else
work them into the show.
Yeah. I might bring them up.
We'll see. Look, I know you have costume designs all laid out, but just hear me out. I'm going to pull these out of a bag. I'm going to show you. Just let me know what you think.
Well, I will say, we might as well just jump in. I've been doing a lot of burlesque and cabaret stuff while I've been waiting for the regional theater bus to show up.
Yeah.
And now my career is kind of like a blend of both, which is actually the coolest thing ever. But I've been taking my tits out in the burlesque world for a long time. And I love burlesque a lot. And we were singing a song called Bounce Your Boobies, which is a Rusty Warren song from the 60s that's very women's libby. And I was like, awesome, great. What color are my tassels? And so I am the one that's always like, and we're naked? And top naked, bottom naked?
And you're like, let me tell you a little bit about 1812's audience.
They need more nudity.
Oh, well, I have to pull it back a little bit.
Right. I mean, but at the end of the day, that kind of stuff is on the table, but might not necessarily serve the piece that we're making, which is kind of conversational and
It's kind of like Birdcage a little bit, where he's like, tassels, but you keep it all inside.
Right? They're spinning on the inside. I have taught Jen Childs how to twirl tassels. So, and spoiler alert, it might be an opening night present to the girls.
So when you get to the theater and you see Jen Childs, ask her about tassels.
I will. The key is to bounce up and down on your toes. That's it.
All right. So let's swing it on around here because we're probably pressed for time. So tell us a little bit about broads.
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 It's a cabaret, which means that to us that music is really at the heart and soul and core of what's going on. And it is a red curtain revue. So we will be on the stage of Plays and Players with the curtain drawn, which allows us to be really conversational with the audience as opposed to being in some narrative world. And it is a history of sassy femmes throughout history, starting maybe in the 20s through up until today, the women who were really trailblazing, I'm going to say sassy talk, who was writing the first dirty songs, who was saying the first commentaries in the vaudeville world about what it means to be a lady performer and what it means to live an unconventional life that might have husband, kids, blah, 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 but might also have more sexual ownership and more spices in the spice cabinet of life than just what was conventional at that time. So we're really trucking through a lot of history, a lot of like deep cut songs from the 20s through today, just like female empowerment nerd dramaturgy in like the best way, and like dirty jokes.
So
in the best way.
So what was the atmosphere like in that time? Like what was the thought process of women presenting themselves in that way at that time?
Well, a big thing is about getting around censorship, right? Because there's all this kind of censorship of the time that has evolved. And so innuendo is the name of the game. I think like things are a lot more overt these days, but back in the day, you know, I want a little sugar in my bowl, which is, you know, no big shakes to us today, but like that was pretty shocking.
If you're super young, just think about that's a reference in Family Guy if you're a young kid.
Or like, so we have a whole section that's
just put a little sugar in my bowl.
A little sugar in my bowl. But it's like, that was like taking a big risk. Or like, you know, anybody want to buy my cabbage? Or my stove is in working condition. Actual song. So I think a lot of it was about language and about, you know, we think of innuendo as kind of like an older trick, but where did it start? So that was part of it. And another part of it was about being frank and how frankness was able to daisy chain. That's kind of what we're curious about. Like the subtle joke would turn in less and less and less subtle. You know, now going all the way to like Joan Rivers, you know, like the thing that starts as how dirty can it get over, or how frank can it get? So a lot of these jokes are told over and over and over again from decade to decade, and the frankness ups with every decade. But it's essentially the heart and soul of the same joke, which I can see why 1812 is so fascinated with this stuff, being as this is a real place for comedy, but being like, why is this stuff funny? How did it start and how did it grow, and is it still funny today?
Plus, women are hilarious.
Yeah. And being...
And there's sort of a... I wouldn't say... It's not a renaissance, but definitely more... We're seeing a lot more visibility of female comedians, and they're definitely being more celebrated now. I'm thinking just of the marvelous Miss Maisel,
right?
As an example,
right? Which is going back to that era when women were doing it, but now it's telling that story to us today. Or like, I mean, oh God, I mean, Michelle Wolf is like my hero. I am a big Joan Rivers fan. Yeah, like Melissa McCarthy, Lizzo. You know, we had a whole thing
Amy
about
Schumer,
like
Sarah Silverman.
Yeah. You know, how does singing and being frank about your body and your life allow permission for an audience to maybe have an invitation for liberation?
Yeah.
And that's what I hope good cabaret does, no matter what it's talking about, is that it extends a transformation invitation to the audience. And that's what these women were doing all along, which were like, I'm going to talk about how much I like, you know, being free and having sex and living life by my terms. And if you see that in the audience, make it whoopee, right? And if you see that and it makes you want to make whoopee, then like everyone's a winner.
Well, it's so crazy that at some point in media, it was just like, let's pretend this isn't happening. Let's pretend this doesn't happen. So if we don't have it on record, it doesn't happen, which basically says it's not necessary, or, oh, you're not interested in this. We don't know anything about what women want.
Right. Or the illusion of sex at all. I mean, think about how long TV had to show people sleeping in double bed, in two single beds. When it's like, you know damn well everybody's fucking there.
This fabricated version of the American dream.
Right.
Yes.
So, you know, anyone that started pushing that envelope was making a contribution to where we are today, which is a place where, like, I mean, personally, my hammer is ready to, like, smash the patriarchy to death and to smash the binary to death. But, like, these are the women that started that push, you know? So it's like every shove can get all that nonsense off of the cliff, hopefully, tomorrow.
Would they have been considered divas of their time?
A broad?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is like when it gets like nerdy. Like, what's a broad? What's a dame? What's a diva? What's a... I guess I feel like, this is just my opinion.
Maybe a little bit more body.
Yes, or it's like body and maybe... I feel like etymologists and like word snobs like get at me on this, but like, does diva have a connotation of like, and with me also comes my ego and my hard to work withness? I don't know.
Which ultimately translates to having a clearer idea of what it is you want. It's not even, you know, it's often meant to be used as a difficult.
Right.
But
like, it's like...
But that's not it.
Like, am I really a diva, or am I just doing my job and making shit good?
Or do you just know what you want?
Right. Am I just taking up space and you have a problem with that?
Yeah.
So...
I'm all intimidated.
I think...
Why don't you go sit over there and let grown folks talk?
Yeah, just sit over there. Right, let me handle it. Yeah, so I don't know. All those words are like in the Venn diagram. And you're right that like, that they're either used... as like a reclaiming, or they're used as a shaming, or, you know, I like the thought of living in a world where like being a diva is a good thing and being a broad is a good thing. Yeah. For sure.
Definitely. So you're not on this stage alone. You're sharing it with two wonderful ladies.
Yes.
Joilet Harris.
Yes.
And Mary Scallen.
MB Scallen.
MB Scallen.
And I won't tell you what the MB stands for because it's in the show. We'll tell you at the show.
I know. Whenever I see initials, I'm always like, would I refer to her as MB or just
MB?
I refer to her as MB?
Yeah. MB Scallen.
But I want to know what MB is.
She's going to tell you at the show. Okay. Broads, 1812 Productions, February 13th. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. These are queens.
Keep chiming in with that commercial.
I am
every 10 seconds.
Walking product.
By the way, if you
heels.
come to Broads, 1812 Productions, 1812productions.org, get your tickets.
Hashtag Broads.
Broads.
Titans of the stage, these ladies.
So
truly.
So we're having fun on this couch, but tell me what rehearsals are like. What happened in the first rehearsal? Like, because this is a curated piece. It's not like here's the script.
Right.
Here it is.
Right.
Tell me how this piece came together.
Jen Childs, who is just a comedy scholar of the tallest order.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she's short. Yeah. Anyway, Jen Childs is this.
But she towers.
She does.
But she towers over the community.
She does. She is no joke.
Jen, you're wonderful. Hi, Jen.
I've wanted to work. I've been sending Jen like little love notes and handwritten notes for 15 years, and I actually feel like I stalked her until she finally put me in this show, which is a good. And what I mean by that is that she's like a vintage comedy nerd, and she really has a particular interest in the history and dramaturgy of female comedy.
Yeah.
And she and I started really bonding over Mae West because I played Mae West with a troupe called Cabaret Red Light in 2011, and I got really nerdily into Mae because of playing this role. And so then every time I would run into Jen, we would kind of start to find out that we have this love of history in common. And it definitely started with conversations around Mae. But meanwhile, Jen has been doing all this other research because Mae West is one of just hundreds of broads, right? So Jen is really like this total source on the subject. So Jen curated the songs and then cast myself, MB, and Joillet. And then Jen has stitched together a script that is like a brain dump of all her passion from all her research. And it goes kind of decade by decade with songs by almost every woman that we talk about. The rehearsal process was Jen brought that script to us, and then that script has little kind of rabbit holes for us to inject personal story. Yeah. That's where we're at right now, is actually going down those rabbit holes and seeing how much of our stories we want to put into all of this really exciting
personal
history. So the rehearsals are a combination of singing, reading Jen's words, little improvising around all this history, not the history itself, but the way we talk about it. And then just like cackling. There's like a lot of cackling. And there's a lot of joke interrogation, like really being like, no, this wording is funny. No, this timing is funny. No, this beat. No, this, Jen is like a master of that. And so there is like this constant ball in the air of what's funny.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting because I love geeking out about jokes. Jokes.
Cool. Will there be audience participation?
Oh, TBD. Maybe. 1812 has moments in there. This is the Week That Is show that are loved for that. Come and find out. It might be I dated a muscle man once I did, true story, just like Mae. And he called plays Sit and Appreciates. Like, as in, like, are you going to one of those Sit and Appreciates tonight? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd be like, ugh, I want to go.
I'm going to think about that the next time I'm sitting in the theater.
Right? But, like, there's a kind of weird wisdom to it. Yeah. So.
Totally sit and appreciate. Hashtag sit and appreciate.
Hashtag sit and appreciate. I kind of like love that little kernel of wisdom.
Hashtag 1812 Productions.
Right? Hashtag
Broads.
Hashtag sit and appreciate. So it might be a sit and appreciate, or it might be we're in your laps.
Yeah.
TBD.
I think you should be in the laps.
I'm gonna keep
at least once.
At least once.
At least once. It would only be right.
Right. Just first two rows. That's the like the splatter zone for laughs.
You, kind sir, you've been asleep the whole time.
Right?
Because there's always one.
No doubt.
So tell me about some of the songs. Tell me about some of your favorites.
I started talking about Bouncy Boobies, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a song about love of breasts, written by Rusty Warren. Ooh, maybe not written, but definitely sung by Rusty Warren, who was a cabaret singer and a comedian and activist and a woman in the 60s. And it's like, bouncy boobies. I met my friend's, this is a sidebar. I met my friend's baby yesterday, literally yesterday. And it's like, and I was singing that song to her. And I was singing Bounce Your Baby. I don't know. I'm just thinking about how much fun that was to like bounce that small child on a giant ball. So that's a song about loving your tits, and also a little bit about women's lib history. Like this is like when the burning your bra time was really happening. So Rusty was able to take that song around and really get people hyped up. I'm singing a Mae West tune called That's All, Brother, That's All, which is about subtlety. You know, it's not what I say, but the way that I say it. That's all, brother, that's all. You know, so there's lots of that. I'm doing a Mae West radio transcript from a radio show that she did, like a skit, like a verbatim transcript, and that's exciting. So I get to do my whole Mae West impression. And I'm singing a song called I Don't Want to Get Thin, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's like an ode to curves and also to not being hungry, which I never want to be hungry. Is there
a physical requirement to being a broad?
God, I hope not. No, hell no. Hell.
Or not a requirement or an appreciation or a specific... Like, what makes a broad?
This is the question every day. I think it's some kind of combination of...
Boobies.
No, you could definitely... that is negotiable in the non...
Yes,
you know,
especially, yes.
In the world that I dream of.
Definitely.
But I think it has something to do with honesty. I think it has something to do with the femme spirit, which to me can transcend genre or can transcend confidence. Gender. You know, so that it is about a scope of femness, as long as it has honesty about what your femness lives like in your truth. If you're speaking your femme truth and it's frank and it's unapologetic, you're probably in the ballpark. Something MB said that I thought was so great was that like a broad would take the expectation with them and then subvert it on purpose, which to me is kind of like the greatest yes and.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah, or like to top. Like it's like, so I think if you're like, I'm going to be a wife and a mother and a career woman and I'm going to do burlesque at night and I'm going to travel around the world or whatever, like, there's no limit to the scope.
And I'm going to do it all backwards and in heels.
Yes, right? So if there's an expectation on your femness and you open the door on that expectation and do more, then you are probably a broad. Backwards in heels. Ugh. God bless her. She was the coolest.
Yeah. So what's it like being in the room with all of you? All wonderful women.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a blessing. And
what is a
very
typical
pleasurable.
rehearsal like? Is there a lot of laughter?
Cackling.
I mean, it's 1812. There's definitely a lot of laughter.
Yeah. Definitely lots of laughs. And lots of personal storytelling. Jen has done a really good job of making the room a place where we feel trusted and safe in a short amount of time. I think that's just part of her superpower as just a kind marvel of a human being. So right now we're really in a pocket, like I said, where we're trying to figure out the alchemy of personal stories and how much of that we want to fold in. So there's a lot of really generous listening and a lot of really generous offering of personal stories. So right now we're really in a spot where we're digging into like, well, what makes us broads and what you know, which of these women really speak to us and why and like all that good stuff. So there's like a good mix of being on our feet, doing all the work of the blocking and choreography and blah, blah, blah. And then a lot of like sitting and conversing. Yeah. There are a couple of male identifying folks in the room too. And I think that is interesting to have them around to give us space. that would be our stage manager and our accompanist, are both male identifying folks. And I think there is a way where it's just interesting to have them there to kind of hear this accumulation of storytelling, and for them also to be like, hey, we're in the room, but we're going to take up less space.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be nice if more men took up less space? So yeah, it is a really great
As we
room.
sit on the heels of a long, drawn-out speech about nothing.
Oh, is that today? Will I be in rehearsal?
That was last night.
That was last night, yeah. I missed it on purpose.
About last night, nothing happened.
Boo.
Absolutely nothing happened.
Boo, keep me in the theater. I'm better off. I am better off.
So set the scene. Are we playing with a set, or are we really playing with a curtain?
No, it is a straight up red curtain review, which means the curtain's closed and we're really close to you, and it's very, very conversational.
Yeah.
So we're ourselves telling you history / anecdote / musical bits of history.
Yeah.
So I hope that it will feel like a conversation that the audience can sit into, rather than it's not going to go down like a play. It will go down like us as cabaret performers sharing all of this dynamic, magnetic research. A couple props here and there. I mean, we got the mink coats. You might as well use it. But it will. If
these minks?
Are these
minks?
Is this real?
We're gonna use these minks.
Mink, do you think that I should buy / convince 1812 to give me my mink? Can I wear it, even though it's an animal? Like, I'm wearing like a really vintage. It was donated. It's like from the 50s.
I feel like you could feel some kind of way if you went out and bought it.
Right. What am I asking you for? I'm the broad.
But if you acquire it.
Right?
Then you gotta wear it.
And the animal is decades. So I'm really on the fence about this coat because I look fucking fantastic in it.
You just have to make sure you honor the mink.
I think so.
You celebrate the mink. You compliment how fabulous you look.
Mae would have wanted me in it. So yeah, no, but mostly we're ourselves. It really is like LBDs and conversation.
Yeah.
So hopefully the audience will dig that. And hopefully so there's this thing that I'm curious about where audiences are like, oh God, don't tell me anything. I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if audiences, I'm hoping that audiences will enjoy learning about these women, because some of them are so fascinating and so unheard of. It's like you got like there's so many rungs up the ladder of people who got us to where we are today. And so we're really going to serve you some deep cuts of some badass broads from history. And I hope that the audience will drive home or walk home being like, I never knew blank about blank, or I never heard that name, and now I'm maybe going to fire up the Google and learn more.
Yeah, definitely. So you get to open on Valentine's Day.
Yay! What a gift.
Will you be playing to anyone special?
No, I'm single as hell, and I hate it.
Come get a broad.
So slide in my DMs. Oh God, don't. No. So I full disclosure, I'm like super single. I've been divorced. I've had my heart broken all these times. It's rough out there.
So you're perfect for cabaret.
Yeah. There's a way that I'm trying to be
got a blues
at peace with that.
In cabaret.
It has a what?
Bluesy undertone.
Oh, my singleness?
To cabaret.
Oh, it does. I mean, well, one thing that has helped me through like all the kind of yucky feelings around that is using cabaret to not complain, but like turning that into jokes is helpful for me to share. Like, no one wants to watch someone, have a whole freaking catharsis on stage. That's what Facebook is for, right? JK. But when you are far enough away from the emotion around your personal story, where it feels safe for you to weave it in, like spin the straw into
you can
gold.
learn from it.
Yeah, so
you can look at it in hindsight.
And I am feeling that there's some serendipitous reason that I am single and pissed off about it and bummed about it. And also doing all of this research about my cabaret ancestors. Like, that is some kind of gift from the universe that has been sent to heal me or, shut me up when I want to be sad about that. Or it's some kind of gift from these broads that's like, hey, you could be lonely and fabulous. You can be, you can hold duality, because when I'm on stage, it's not just me. Someone just said this today, and I really do believe it, that we're taking all our performative ancestors with us every time we tread those boards. And it's true. And so
you're never alone.
I'm like just bathing in the serendipity of it. I'm like, man, that sucks. And also, it's fucking awesome to have this show at the same time as this holiday that could spark feelings if I let it.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Yeah. It's a commercial holiday.
Do you think?
It is, but...
So when your boyfriend gives you flowers and candies, are you going to send them back?
I'm gonna say, was this really necessary?
Just get the candy on the 15th, because then you can really...
Because it's half price.
Oh my God, it's the best. That's what I'll be doing.
I mean, I'll eat the candy. I just don't want to pay full price for it.
That's fair. That's fair.
But who doesn't like flowers, though?
Who doesn't? My mother was a florist. She owned a flower shop for 40 years. Yeah. So I'm big into flowers as a gift. All y'all out, slide into my DMs with some physical flowers and go local with your florist.
Floral emojis.
Floral emojis. Yeah, but no, I'm like all day. I want all the fresh plants.
I can't wait to
flowers.
see the costumes because I loved the press photo.
In this show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three of you look wonderful.
Thanks.
And I know where that is. I mean, not many people know exactly where that photo was taken.
Where was it taken? Well, I know.
It's backstage.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's such a nice spot.
What a trope. I mean, what a like...
I was like, look at that. Come on, PNP.
And it captures that old glamour. I mean, Plays and Players is such a civic treasure. Oh, my God. And fun fact, I will be doing broads the week of the show, and then the next week, I'm going to do Wonka Jr. with 90 middle schoolers because I direct the middle school musical at Independence Charter. So we'll be in Plays and Players. I'll be doing back to back. Yeah, so I'll be in performer mode there and kind of like imbue the space with whatever vibes, and then I get to bring all my kids to that magical theater, and we're going to have a whole other tech and do a whole other show, and I love that.
That's how it works there. I had 2 shows back to back. Got to be in there for about 3 months. Yes. Okay. So it's Broads. But it's not on Broad Street.
No. But Jess Conda lives on Broad Street. Oh, God. I'm about to give I just want 20 men or women to show up at my door with flowers.
Flowers and candy. Discounted.
But I do live on Broad Street, metaphorically and literally. Yes. Broad's 1812. I don't know how to do the ad.
It's a body review of lasses. Sexy stories, sexy wonderful women, ladies.
No holds barred conversation
unapologetic
about being a broad.
Completely being who they are.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly right. I hope you come. I hope you come and see it.
I will be there.
I hope you listeners come and see it.
Yes, listeners are coming because they already know. What do I always say? You have to get more than one ticket because theater is more fun with a +1.
Hey!
Yes. So it's Broads, 1812productions.org. You can find out, get more information, get tickets. You can follow them on social media. Definitely get more than one ticket.
Follow them and look for me on social media too.
Yeah, Jess Conda. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
I love you.
And I'll let you go so you can get to your rehearse.
All right, man. The hustle never stops. It was really nice to sit on this comfy couch and chat. It really was. I love you.
I want this couch. You guys own this couch? Get out of here. All right, we got to get out of here.
No.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for chatting with me.
Mwah.
Rep Radio continues to be inspired by our community and listeners like you. You can support our work through our fiscal sponsor, Fractured Atlas, and through our Patreon page. Visit repradio.org/donate for more. Stay tuned. You know the rest.